All right, hello and welcome to Fragments of Remains, session 28. So we normally do go around the table, see how each of the players are doing before we get into the game. A clue, after that amazing story, it was actually pretty funny. How was your week?
It's been really gassy, man. My girl's been feeding me a lot of beans. But
Well,
no, I bought a.
that stinks.
Yeah, it does stink. But on a serious note, I finally did invest in a table saw, and it came in Saturday. And Sunday, I got out there and put it together. And I've got my SketchUp stuff, skills improving. So I've totally sketched up the garage, and I want to have a workshop out there before you know it.
So with the profits from selling your old one, you bought the new one.
Oh no, I didn't make but $15 off the old one.
Oh, okay.
This one cost $600.
Well, at least you could still use the money from the old one, right?
Profit's profit.
Yeah,
That's
I mean
true.
the old one I bought for $60, dude. It was just an old one, and then it was just. I just felt like as dangerous as a table saw is, I better get a new one that I have everything new on it, and I don't have to worry about like the blade flying off and hitting me right in between the eyes and splitting my head in two, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds
I
like a
watch
sound decision.
I've watched too much Final Destination, those kind of movies and stuff to chance it.
I literally mentioned that earlier. I was like, there's no way I'm driving behind this 18-wheeler with 17 cars in the back of it. I've seen those commercials. I know what's going to happen.
I feel the same way, man.
I can't remember like what he says, but like the chaos commercials. Those are pretty good.
Chaos, like me.
Oh yeah, that's like okay. So he does call himself. I wasn't sure if that's what it was, but well, when you get the garage all set up, you're gonna have to share some pictures.
Oh, certainly, man. I'll share my SketchUp in chat while everybody else is
Cool.
going through their little recap of their week.
All right, Togo, how was your week?
My week was great. We are officially all moved in up here. We got internet and all that stuff, and a lot of our stuff is all unpacked and set up, and I've had my first 2 days at my new job, today and yesterday. And that's been mostly HR stuff, but I got to watch some rat dissections where they took livers and processed livers, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, very exciting stuff.
This is a weird group. I like it. That's not bad. I like it.
Well, that's cool. Hopefully your new job, stays fun. But from
Well,
what
but
you described of it, should probably stay that way.
Well, Cinnabon, you've got a biologist, in Cavo. Then you got hillbilly, technological hillbilly in me. And then you got a stoner in Pistol. And then you've got
Wait, stoner? How the hell did that come up? I do not smoke. Where did that come from?
I knew I was going to get a rise out of you.
Stoner.
I threw it out there because I knew you was going to say something, man. That's the only reason I even said it. Because I knew I wasn't going to make it to Valencia.
Just because I work in restaurants does not mean I'm a stoner. Don't get me wrong. The vast majority of people I work with are.
I mean, I watched the documentary Waiting, and that's kind of what they said.
The documentary Waiting. I like that. That's good. Watch us. Slammin' Salmon's a little closer to what I do.
Well, was that your week too? Or
it was a good week. Mother's Day weekend. It was busy. Had a good time. The weather's starting to get warm down here. Hoping to get out on the water a little bit more.
I just want to point out, doesn't Slammin' Salmon sound like a porn, or is that just me?
It probably is.
Does.
Like,
There's almost no way that it isn't.
Like, I'm actually surprised there's like a comedy that's named that. Like,
Slam and you really haven't.
Yep.
That's the look it up. Slam and Salmon. It's by the guys that did Super Troopers. It's their
Oh,
restaurant.
then it's
Slam and
probably
Salmon,
hilarious.
the wait staff of a high-end seafood restaurant compete against each other to win $10,000.
Oh wait, no,
in
I've
selling the
seen
most
that.
food in
Yeah, I
one night.
remember. That's
right,
the
now-
one where the boxing champion's the manager. Or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, but here, what happens when you turn off your safe search, though?
I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen.
I'm not that old. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good week. Hopefully, the weather stays kind of nice. Up here, it started just randomly getting into those like summer thunderstorms. So,
Well,
sure.
see, we don't usually get those. Those stay on the mainland. I used to when I used to live at the club. I literally because I lived at the edge of Cart Sound, which is like looking at Turkey Point and the nuclear power plant, and then just the rest of the Everglades right there. And you could see those storms in the summer just roll up to the edge of the water, and they just didn't quite cross over the bay there. They just kind of stay up in the Everglades.
I just had a couple friends down from the south that pretty much were like, pretty much 2 o'clock every day. You know what time it is because it rains. But let's go to Lusk, the new blue tiefling. I know your character art will need to be updated, of course, but don't let the clothes fool you. He is still naked.
I like it.
Run.
And Lusk probably does too. Lusk being a what is it? A half succubus, descended from the abyss, and perpetually trapped for hundreds of years. I think he's ready to get out.
But was your week good?
My week was pretty good. It was pretty boring by comparison to everyone else, really. I'm just, I watch a lot of anime. Like, yeah, not a whole lot going on this week. It's been pretty simple.
Man, you're so lucky that I'm not playing Mogun.
And
I
so
think
we
we're
got
all lucky for that.
So we got a biologist, a technobilly, a not stoner, I guess, and a weeb. Except I hate Naruto, so maybe weeb is wrong, but...
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, we're halfway there.
Well, with that, who wants to take the lead on the recap before we get into the game? Last session was definitely interesting to say the least.
Kevo.
So I guess what happened last time was we were in the middle of the warehouse. We were tied up because I was still at that point. And then people were coming. I turned me and Alencia invisible, and Zanashi went and talked to the people that were coming, and it turned out it was the captain of the guard, whose name is... I have it with the druids.
Thanks, Pistol.
Sanser? Oh, no.
Depends on which one you're asking.
Captain Chilson. It was Captain Chilson who was looking for us. And was requesting that I play because apparently there was some weird ongoings, whatever that may mean, before at the tavern when I played, and they were suspecting magic, which is forbidden. Then we went back, and everyone was very concerned, but we just kind of went with it because there was nothing we could do at the time, and Alencia was supposed to fight the next day? Or was it that day?
It was the next day, I think.
Yes, because we went back and we drank, and Zanashi ended up being asleep on the floor in the corner, breaking a table.
Facts.
And then we
Before
went
table.
to the arena or the next day, and
Burned it down.
yeah, we burned it down. We sang Stairway to Heaven. Then right before the fight, I was continuing to play and continuing to make performance checks, in which one of them started summoning an earthquake that then had fire. I guess there was no connection between me and the music. I just was playing very well. There was an earthquake that then started having fire shoot from the ground, and people were dying, and the tavern was burning down. And we traveled south and did battle with a demon, and Zanashi was about to destroy the loot, and I forgot, my party attacked me needlessly.
Yeah.
Anyways,
How could you forget this?
How
I
could you
defended
forget
you.
Attempted murder.
That's what
How
half my
could I
notes are on.
I was
Fair.
attempted to be murdered by my own party multiple times.
Except for Zanashi.
Except
You're the
for
one.
Don't leave that out.
Except
You're
for
the one
hero
that had
of
a
the party,
demon.
Zanashi.
That's right.
That is a very valid point, Modar. One I'm going to completely ignore. Anyways, we traveled south, battled the guy around the pits of fire. Zanashi was about to break the loot. I used a cutting word, and she missed because I insulted her. And then I strummed the loot with the pick, almost blowing Modar into the pit of magic, or into the pit of lava. And then we ended with me and Modar standing there. Modar thinking he was going to cast the pick into the fire and destroy it like Elrond or like Isildur, and me sitting there thinking I was going to cast a spell. Oh, and he summoned a new friend, whose name I still am questionable because was Z the name that they gave about the demon they were, and the name that you were saying earlier. So I don't know what your name is right now.
I'm kind of in between names at the moment.
Got it.
What's in a name? You just got to choose a new one every now and again.
Got it. That's what I got for this, or for last session.
Yeah, I was actually a little bit surprised when you were about to add something else. 'Cause I was like, that's pretty much all I had. But does anybody have anything else?
I just want to say, I can't believe that Modar would attempt to murder his good friend Kavo, and thus, in an attempt to destroy me. It's really unnecessary.
As far as he was concerned, he was going after an evil demon that was getting ready to destroy a town. He doesn't care.
I just want to make
not
sure.
Not gonna let something evil run through the town to protect somebody else.
I just want to let it be known I would never kill one of my good friends.
See, Zanashi has it right, but Modar, you're hurting my feelings.
No, she wouldn't kill, but she'd rob you blind.
I might chop a friend's arms off if it would prevent them from, creating destruction. But I wouldn't kill them.
But you can get those back.
I can't chop Togo's legs off because he's already short. So I could chop his arms off.
Dobby would never kill. Maybe maim or seriously wound, but never kill.
Damn, son, that's pretty close.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was real good.
Can you get inspiration for that? I'm suing for inspiration.
I don't think that Togo goes pretty much without it. Every time he doesn't have it, there's a song saying, and he earns it back.
I wish that was like his in-character voice, man.
That's racist against halflings.
I would be stoking conversations with you all night.
I think we
Does
all would be.
Mistress Zanoshi have a sock?
Oh my goodness.
Tell you what, I sure as fuck don't. Unless I'm hanging it around my... Anyhow.
Well, let's get into our story with this. We continue on May 3rd, year 1101. Just after Togo, Zanashi, Alencia, and Modar had slain a demon that had risen from the magma that was continuously bubbling from the cracks of Elista's crust. However, now ceasing, the demon has been defeated, leaving a loop behind. Zanashi attempted to smash it. However, Togo does foil her plans and does not allow it, using cutting words in order to make her miss the loot. But instead, feeling that the only thing that is going to be able to destroy the loot is the Pick of Destiny, Togo makes his way over, strums it, and the loot explodes. This does nearly kill Modar in the process. However, Modar is saved, and all is well. A blue tiefling lays naked where the loot once sat, and then each of you begin to take place in a conversation. Zanashi being quite accepting once hearing that this individual is able to obtain lots of gold pieces and items that may be desirable to the party. However, Alencia feels quite a bit uneasy, being that this blue tiefling is practically spawned from a demon. But the sun seems to be an hour or so away from setting, the wind blowing very nicely down to the south. As it brushes up against your back, so you can feel the heat from the pits flowing with the wind. And this is where I'll open it up to each of you to continue on, as stated by Togo, with Modar contemplating whether or not to just, destroy the pick, and Togo keeping a very watchful eye.
Alright, do I have the pick in my hand right now? He handed it to me, correct?
Indeed.
Yes, I am standing between you and the pit of lava.
Alright. I am going to ritually cast Identify Item again and see if anything has changed with this pick.
So, while he's doing that, would someone perhaps like to fetch me a pair of clothes? I wear about medium. I mean, I could perhaps squeeze into a small, but I would rather not be swinging, if you know what I mean.
I'm fine to sit right here. I'm just gonna wait for Modar to finish casting.
Didn't you say you were pretty nifty at acquiring things?
Yes, quite good, actually.
Let us see you gather yourself some clothes.
I believe I do have an extra set of clothes back with my belongings, but nothing. They are a little warm for this weather.
No. Oh, please, go ahead.
I don't think anything I have will fit you.
Very well. I suppose I will have to experience freedom in more than just one way.
As you can see, I'm not wearing a whole lot, so I don't have nothing to give up.
No, nothing holding me back. So, since we're waiting for our old pal Blue over here, perhaps now would be a good time to catch up. Obviously, you've accepted me into your party of gallivanting and ne'er-do-wellism, and I wholeheartedly accept it as well. So tell me, what exactly
that
is
is
our...
not the case. And Lincia chimes in.
Well, you have most heartedly accepted me, assuredly. And what exactly is our brand of ne'er-do-wellism that we do?
Currently, we're looking for boats with That's really what's driving us right now. Boats are really in this season.
Well, I
They
suppose
fly, of course. Like, they're not just like normal boats, obviously, but
Yes,
though
that
mostly
is-
they're crashed and on the ground.
Well, that is a ship of a different sail, I suppose. So you're looking for airships.
Exactly.
I
Here
could-
on this plane of reality, not others. This one.
What? Yes, that seems to be an uncommon occurrence for this plane. I mean, back where I come from, it's not that odd, but here, I didn't think that you were so far out of the Dark Ages.
Yeah, well, people can do some cool things. The ones that we've seen are maybe like a couple thousand years old, but that's neither here nor there. They've mostly just been crashed inside caves and surrounded by armies of lizard men or crazy fountain blood demons with legions of zombies.
All
The
very
usual.
standard.
Yeah. So that's
Uh,
kind of what we're doing here. That's kind of like what we've been doing. We're trying to get across to an island off the coast that apparently is, I don't know, evil and full of darkness, but I'm
That's
not
neither here
that
nor
sold.
there.
Exactly.
Very
there's a
normal
blue
fare,
dragon
in
that-
fact.
There's a blue dragon that guards the crossing, but like, how bad could it be, really?
I'm sure it's not bad at all. Why are we looking for these airships again?
Because we're being paid, and
Ah.
they sound pretty cool. So, like, best of both worlds, honestly. Modar gets to learn some new things. I get to find new things to write stories about and songs to be able to be more interesting in taverns. We get some coin in our purse. Like, all great things.
Well, I must say, I arrived here in no short order of time. I can tell what you all need very much. You need trouble.
Modar, your spell will be complete now.
All right. Am I finding the same information as before, or has anything changed?
There is a bit of change. It seems that some of the strength of the necromancy and summoning magic has faded.
All right. Does it still seem to have that same chance of summoning a demon?
No, it does not.
All right. Well, Togo, the good news, according to the information that I'm gathering at the moment, I don't believe this will summon that demon again. It is not as strong as it once was, but it should be useful for you. But I'll hand it back over to him.
Thank you, Modar.
But be careful. I just don't think I am necessarily. I think there's more to it than this. We may need to study it more, and I might need to do a little more digging on this when we get the chance.
Yeah, I mean,
I
probably.
wink to Kavo.
I think that's probably a good idea, Modar. Do we want to go back into town now?
Well,
Looking back, do we see like smoke and flames rolling from the area where the town was, or does it seem kind of calm?
You definitely see a bit of smoke, but you are definitely a decent ways outside of the major parts of the city, making your way past the farmlands and into more of the tribe areas.
Well, we definitely should make our way back. I'd
If we
suggest
go-
we be cautious. We do at least need to get our belongings before moving on.
What do you think the odds that they think we did this is?
Well, you were making a spectacle when it all started.
Yeah, but I was just playing music and stuff started happening. Like,
To be fair, most of the people who saw this happen are dead.
that is very true.
See? The problem solved itself.
But not all of them are dead.
Well,
We can.
go on.
Like I said, I don't believe anybody used anything that was not in defense of the town, so nobody saw us do anything, and we honestly, some of us may have known what was going on, but none of us caused it.
Yes,
True.
none of us caused it.
I trust that if the druids do show up, and which I'm sure they will, and they question us, that we can. They told us that it's okay to use magic to defend ourselves, and I feel that we did nothing but that, so we should be fine.
I feel like we defended the town and should be labeled as heroes, honestly, but I don't know if they'll be as open-minded as one might be in the face of flames appearing from their town.
Well, you never know. Perhaps we could drag the body of my dead brother, and wait, did he leave a body?
No, he did not.
Oh, damn it! Always disappearing when you need him. Well, I suppose we could always weave the story that we've defeated the demon, and as Kevo says, we are great and wondrous heroes who have saved the town from this awful demon that definitely is not me.
Yes, and I would definitely do my best to avoid mentioning he's your brother.
Yeah, that would be a bad one. I may ixnay that part of the story.
Yes, it seems a very unimportant detail, to be frank. Perhaps leave it
Honestly,
out.
this may be a perfect opportunity for me to compose a song about our glory and greatness. I don't know. I'll work on it. Anyway.
I gave him advantage by helping to hum a tune for him.
Oh, already done. But I say we should probably head back to the town then.
Yes, definitely.
Very well. So, Modar, are we going to talk about what's been happening?
Talk about what?
Your bloodlust. It's a problem. Your need to hurt your friends seems unnecessary.
My only need was to destroy the demon. I was misinformed. I was under the impression that you were the demon that needed to be killed. I am okay with admitting I did make a mistake, but it doesn't happen often. And I would not hesitate to kill any of you if it meant saving multiple lives from releasing a demon.
Yeah, I completely understand. My brother is kind of an asshole.
Well, what can I say? The demons that I've met, that seems to be true so far. Well then, let's move. Like I said, I believe I may have a set of clothing for you, but it's definitely going to be made for the colder weather. If they don't have anything in town that we can get you into.
Well, that's fair. I can make some alterations.
And with that, Modar is definitely going to kind of give you a dirty look at altering his clothes.
Or perhaps I can find my own.
Well, As the sun finally sets and it begins to grow a bit dark, can each of you give me a perception check, please?
All right.
Modar, as you keep an eye on, well, this new acquaintance, to say the least, each of you are caught up in a bit of conversation. Tanashi, not necessarily fond of taking part in some of this more, I guess you would describe it as chummy, getting to know each other things a bit more. Looking around, staring back down the path to the south, Tanashi, in the horizon to the southeast, you will see that the sky is giving off a slight purple glow. Just very, very, very lightly, right at like the base of the horizon. It seems like the sun is rising, but it doesn't move. And of course, it's purple.
So I guess this is something I've never seen before, I'm assuming.
Indeed.
Does it seem like the light's just a long ways away? Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm. Like, the farther you go, it seems to, like, go down past, like, the horizon's edge.
and what do I know of anything that's been discussed when Zanashi's around? Probably nothing, because I usually tend to stay out of those conversations, don't I?
I mean, definitely for the most part. However, there was a bit of a discussion, I believe almost a month ago, maybe even more. I mean, like literally in game over a month ago.
I think the bright light that illuminated the sky was during Zanashi and somebody's watch, because Togo was asleep for it. I have it in my notes.
But that wasn't a purple light, was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was
a purple lightning bolt.
there
Oh,
was
okay.
a bright
Was
hue that
purple.
illuminated the night sky in the middle of the night that shot off towards the north near Farnworth, and it was purple.
Hey guys, take a look over here. Quit yapping your mouths. And I'll point to the horizon.
Once we know what to look for, can we see it or?
Yes. Again, like the best way to describe it is like either like a setting or rising sun, where you get like that little bit of like an orange glow as like the light diminishes. But this is just purple, and with, I mean, how much is there? It's, I mean, definitely far, far away.
Does it look familiar to me out of any of the books that I've read, the research that I've been doing recently? Does anything, because we also, the stuff started with the island after the last one happened, correct? That's what that sailor told us?
That is correct. We were told that the island was dangerous before, but you could still go there. But since that happened, it is like omega deadly.
And this
If I
seems to be
remember
the
that
same
conversation.
thing.
Well, I kind of figured a lot of those questions were like out of character, just for like remembering sake.
Yes.
I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, this event happened for you on March 27th.
I did not date it in my notes, but that should be about that time.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's just like I'm 99.9% sure it's the 27th. But currently we're on May 3rd, so like I said, like over a month in game time. So it's definitely been a while.
Gotcha. And okay. does it like in the before? I didn't actually see it, so actually seeing this now and looking at this, does it like does is anything popping in my head as to what it may be or what may be causing it?
No, the only bit like that kind of strikes to be memorable is it matching the same color that streaked across the sky. No information from books you've read, nothing that you've studied in the past up to the present.
Is this anything I would recognize for any reason?
Good question. From your backstory, if I'm remembering it correctly, it is a no, but I'm going back through because I had only read it twice. So let me just make sure I'm not making a mistake.
What was the date today again?
The 3rd.
May 3rd?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a no for you, Lusk.
All right. It was a long shot.
Actually, not. To be fair.
And this time it's coming from the south, not the north.
That is correct. This is down towards the southeast.
Well, what kind of adventurers do we see ourselves as if we don't go?
Well, that is the
I mean-
direction that island is in.
But all of their stuff is back at the town. All of my stuff is back at the town, except for my instruments.
Well, I do suppose we need to claim the possessions then.
And of course, attempt to sow the seeds that we are the greatest heroes ever
Of
to
all
have
time.
saved the city. Of course.
course.
I mean, right now
Yeah.
we're the greatest heroes who have ever saved this city. Will we be the greatest of all time? Yes. Can we claim that now? Yes.
Yes.
Will people believe us though? Probably not.
Well, their loss, really. I do feel this adventure is going quite well.
Oh, obviously. Yes, of course.
Well, so far we need more information. We need to get there. But yes, we'll get back. We will get our belongings. I do need to take a rest though before we go much further. We need to get everything back together. We need to figure out what's going on.
Me too, Modar. I am tired. I maybe got 1 or 2 more spells left in me, and I don't think I can do much more without taking a bit of a break from the road. But maybe, just maybe, if we convince them that this whole blue light thing could potentially be the cause of the fire and the demon that was summoned, maybe we can get a party to take us across and help us survive the wilds of whatever that veil is.
Anything is possible.
But I'm just gonna keep walking back, and besides that, I'm not gonna try and I'm gonna hang back and start musing over lyrics and lines, trying to compose a song.
Okay. Well, as you each make your back into the city of Raisk, well, sort of for the first time, sort of not for the new edition. It seems that everything has calmed down at least a bit. You make your way through the southeastern area and begin to pass the lady and the cauldron.
What does the tavern look like?
Well, as you each make your way up, you see that there is just a bit of smoldering rubble. The stone walls now collapsed, fallen in, kind of shattering a bit, seeming to be quite scorched from the fire that had spread. The only one that you recognize still in the area, just looking, is Sanser and also Captain Chilson.
Are there other buildings that burnt down, or is that the only one that burnt down?
That is the only one that has any damage. Seems that the fire was pretty well contained.
Huh. Does it look like Sanser and Captain Chilson see us?
As you give a look over their face, they just seem to be lost in a bit of deep thought as they stare at where the tavern once stood.
I look over at Mudar. So, do we want to go tell them a version of what happened?
Well, that might be best if you do the talking.
All right, I'll start. I'll stand a polite distance away and let them think and wait until I attract their attention to notice me.
A couple of moments pass, and then you'll see the Chilson place her hand on Sanser's shoulder, give it like a little bit of a pat, and with that, Sanser turns, and out of the corner of her eye, she sees you. Well, where the hell did each of you to make it out to?
Well, it summoned something. Something was summoned. I don't know what it was, but somebody came up from the south and heard, or was saying something about a demon. And if you go south, how far was it? A couple miles?
Yes.
That we were. If you go south a couple miles, we followed the lava pits and the fire and all of the intense and increasing heat up to where there were 4 pools of bubbling magma bursting up, and there was a demon there that looked like it was reveling in the flames of the city. And the demon is gone, but I don't know if it's related, but the celestial veil is now glowing purple.
Can you give me
And I'll kind
a persuasion check?
As I say this, I'll kind of rub where the magic missile hit me, as if I was wounded. Persuasion.
Well, even though you're a bard, it does seem that your story sits well with me. The captain looks at you and speaks up. We'll have farther words. The druids have been alerted and will be here in the morning. I'm sure they'll wish to speak with each of you. More pressing matters at hand. What is with that one? Pointing
That
over
one?
your head, and as you look back, seeing gesturing towards the blue tiefling.
So,
The demon
question.
was-
Sorry. Are we standing with Togo currently?
Not directly with him, but definitely a bit back after
Got
Togo
it.
stepped forward.
Sorry to interrupt.
The demon had taken him. Safe to say, we
The demon's his
rescued him
brother.
from the... I don't think Zanashi's close enough to be able to interject.
Oh, you're lucky.
Oh God. The demon had taken that one and was going to abscond with them, but we saved them from him, or saved him from it. How they got in a state of undress, I don't know.
Interesting. And then she'll kind of take the captain will take a knee and get like, a little uncomfortably close to you, Togo, and then whisper to you. And I will send you. Actually, the rest of you are well experienced to know that this is obviously something you're not supposed to hear. But for the stream's sake, we know what you did.
I'll just look confused. What do you mean?
She'll give you a little bit of a smirk as she stands backing away a bit. Back away from you. Then says, well, I'll be looking forward to our conversation in the morning. I hope you all find your rest to be well.
Good night, Captain Chilson. I'll nod Sansa.
She'll give you a nod. Just a moment, Mr. Togo. Well, it does seem that we're not going to be able to complete our competition, this year, but, you all did, ask a few questions about the, Celestial Veil, no?
Mm-hmm. We had talked about that the other day. You had directed me to one of your captains to ask some questions about.
Well, it seems that I have a bit more free time now. Well, after squaring away a few things here and there, making sure that the tavern finds some repairs, perhaps we can discuss some business. And that may be favorable to us both.
I shrug. If it gets this on that island, sounds interesting. You know where to find us.
Aye. How about I head there with you all now? And we give a bit of our sorrows some drowning.
Your drinks are on me.
So is the tavern.
I'll motion for Sandra to come along.
She makes her way over. She'll give you each like a bit of a nod and like a nice polite smile. And then kind of giving you a bit of a nudge, Modar. She'll just pipe up. You know, if you have any of those capabilities, we definitely could have used your hand in putting out the fire, or perhaps we could have saved some of the tavern. And then gives like a awkward chuckle.
The only thing I can.
To be honest with you, most of my talents when it comes to that would not have been all that helpful. I'm sorry. I do have magic abilities, but my construction magic is not as useful as my destructive, if you understand what I'm saying.
Clearly,
The the one thing
Perhaps
I can
you
say.
have some magic that can find this one some clothes.
We are working on that. Do you know of a tailor in town that might still be open at this hour?
Oh, heavens, no. Not at this late hour. After the excitement, it seems that everyone was looking to vacate the southern areas. It's, well, you saw.
Yes. Well, I can tell you, I can assure you this much. If it wasn't for us moving fastly to the south, who knows what other buildings that demon would have destroyed.
Perhaps.
Trust me, I understand anybody's doubting on whether he's telling the truth or not. Because trust me, I didn't believe him at first either, but once we got there, it was there.
If I remember correctly, you had said that there was strips of fire and lava going down to the south through the streets, correct? Because we had
Correct.
to avoid walking on it. Okay.
Are
It's,
those still active lava at this point, or they look like
you
just like?
can see the heat, but they're not like flowing over by any means.
But it's like a crack in
You
the
d-
earth with heat
Mhm.
coming out of it right now, currently.
Yes, this is I was looking up like the term for it last week, and now I'm not remembering it. But I want to say it's like a flat style volcano, where it's just like bits underneath the
A shield
surface.
volcano?
What'd you call it?
A shield?
Mm.
Where it's like smooth
Yeah,
at the
I
top?
mean
or-
but yeah, I mean that's basically the same idea. Like I
And
don't
you did
remember it
say
saying that
where-
exact name, but
You did say where we actually fought the guy. It was still like bubbling and churning, and it was an active volcano there.
correct. That seemed to be the more central location.
I have a question. Is there any history of volcanoes being in this area in the past?
No, there is not. Not in this area. The volcanoes that you are more familiar with are in the Dormant Mountains on the eastern side of Elista. Mountain range that stretches fairly far.
Well, I want to look at our friend here, and well, you would say that all this is a little bit strange, wouldn't you? Not normal for this area. And I'll be pointing at all of the rifts and stuff in the road, and
Oh yes,
the
very
track.
much so.
And if your captain sends his men out to follow these, he'll find the large holes where there's where the demon came from. It is gone, and there is no. It did not last, but I promise you, it was there, and he will see these pools into whatever hell he came from.
Well, about this time, each of you will be making it back to the Belly Hot Brewery, where you will only find two individuals. One, just a male human, just seems to be a random patron, and of course, Mayor. He gives you a smile and a wave as each of you enter. Well, welcome back. Few drinks to be had.
I toss my head over at Sanser and say, "On me tonight."
Damn right it's on, Togo.
And
Well,
you wouldn't happen to have any extra garments around that our friend here could use, would you? We would, of course, pay for them.
I don't have anything that would fit him. And he just kind of like gestures to his size.
It's my problem, too.
Yeah, Modar will go upstairs and grab his winter clothes. I think he's got a shirt or something that was more of a winter thing. Throw it to him.
I believe
the
Alencia
night.
may have a few options as well. I mean, she is wearing a tuxedo.
I don't think Alencia would share her clothes.
Oh, yeah.
I know she wouldn't.
Yeah, definitely not, actually. You guys are right. Especially not with the opinion that she has of him.
Well, I suppose I do have other options, even if it doesn't quite fit. I am a somewhat accomplished seamstress. I can make alterations.
Isn't the male of seamstress a seamster?
I don't know. I believe I mentioned that I'm not so good with the speaky.
I'm a bard. You gotta know these things.
Very well, seamster it is.
Well, I'll get you each a few ales to get it going. If you want any more of the heavy stuff, you just let the mayor know. But we'll walk over to Sanser and I'm sorry about your tavern. This is a horrible thing to have happened. There's any new indication of what may have been the cause? And she'll look over to each of you and then look back to Mare and say, well, we have some indication, but perhaps that's is what we can figure out tonight. And then Mare will show you to each of your seats at the table and also pull up an extra one for Lusk. And then Modar, I'm sure it won't take you very long to find some things that you don't mind this new individual to wrap himself up with. So in just a couple moments' time, you can return back downstairs just in time for the drinks to be served. And Sanser chimes in. So, what is it that you are all looking to do? Do you just wish to make it to the island?
I mean, preferably make it back as well, but we've heard and since had confirming tales about what is arguably a fairy tale, but there's been some something slightly more reliable than just that what we're looking for is somewhere on the island. So we want to go there for long enough to be able to search the island and then come back and tell our patron about what is going on, or what we find. The fact that the light purple hue of the island now matches something that we saw a month or so is kind of an added little curious bonus of ours that we get to explore.
Yes, we are looking to find lost technologies and remnants of the Elysium dynasty.
She'll kind of pull the stool up a little bit closer and then just pipe up. And you're sure that actually exists?
Well,
I will pull out one of the drawings we made of a ship in a cave.
Out of curiosity, which one?
The first one. Whatever one I pull first out of the scroll on my side.
Okay, so if you pull out the first one, she'll just kind of snicker. It looks like a child drew this.
I have a better one upstairs, but if you notice, there are names in the stories about the Elysium dynasty. We found 2 like this that are if you take these letters, they match up almost perfectly, including spacing, to
Yes,
names
that's
that we
one
found.
second. Will you give him that coat? And don't want to see that well. And she just kind of like waves her hand over towards your naked tiefling.
I'll throw him the coat.
Oh, thank you. I wouldn't want anyone to get jealous.
I'm sorry, Togo. You were saying names. What names?
It was the generals you said, Modar? You're the one who
The
had been-
ambassadors.
The ambassadors.
It was the 5 ambassadors, I believe.
It also might interest you that we found these boats buried deep underground, one of them in a cave dedicated to a death goddess surrounded, or that was guarded by a blood-sucking vampire that drained the life energy out of undead zombies that attacked us and then basically fell to worship the creature.
Another at the entrance to what we're assuming to be one of the many entrances to the Underdark, with with creatures from the Underdark beginning to come out of it.
Well, we need to go there too, so we can kill all those drow that come for Alencia.
I think we already killed most of the drow that came for Alencia. I don't
There's
think any
gotta be
got away
more.
the last. I mean, I'm sure there are more, but I can't see in the dark. I'm not a.
Killing all of the drow would be like saying I'm going to come to the south and kill all of the orcs. It's just not a feasible thing with a group like ours. You'd need an entire army for that.
Well, it could be done.
From the
I could
stories, I don't
recruit
even know
more
if an
orcs.
army would.
Orcs love killing drow, and Togo, just get a flashlight.
From the stories, I don't even know if an army will be able to do it.
What stories do you have?
I mean, not much. There's not much about them, but as it's told, you'd be going into their home trying to fight them, where they'd be the most dangerous in what can I only assume to be the places of power of their dark god. That doesn't sound like a battle I want to start.
Perhaps we make some explosive device to collapse the Underdark on itself.
I feel like that's one of those. I mean, we could do that for the short term. The druids know where the entrance is, and we told Captain Chilson what's down there, so they know what's there. But we can probably try and cave it in. But I don't know how well that would go.
Even in the Underdark.
It would go boom. That's how well it would go.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear you
just about to
very
say
quietly.
Oh, how quiet am I? I'm sorry.
Oh shit!
Now you're loud. Now you're good.
I had you at
Oh.
200% because your mic was weird last week. So let me turn you down on
Oh.
my end, but you should be good.
Okay, I just Valencia speaks very quietly, I guess.
This is
Makes sense.
just real quick. The only thing that you really missed is going back, and having a conversation with Sanser and the captain, and the captain having a few words with Togo, kind of a bit separately, and then Modar finally gave the blue tiefling his winter clothing. And now you are all back at the Belly Hot Brewery and speaking with Sanser about your interest at the island.
Oh, and Modar checked the pick out, and it no longer has the text that it will summon a demon potentially.
And that yes, that is true.
Except for me. It will always summon me.
The ambassadors that you spoke of, what were their names?
Modar, you read them, right? You
I
have them in one of
do.
your books.
I do, and I still don't have those notes transferred over to this computer yet. It is. Oh shit!
Come on, Tadashi, you used to know.
Tis, Mogan,
What was the question again?
Tempest, and Sakos.
The name of the ambassadors. Yeah, Mogan.
Mogun. It was the elephant. That was Savras. There was
Tempest,
Tempest,
Zolos,
Zolos, because that was Kyle's brother,
and Tis.
and Tiz.
Yeah. I mean, you only played in the campaign, so. But Alencia remembered.
It's been a minute.
It has.
Yep,
It was a
from memory.
while ago. Well, that is somewhat intriguing.
It's been worth a month of our time and of interesting field travel. But that's what we found so far. So we're hoping if we can find something else on the island itself, we'll travel back up north and inform our patron about what we found.
What do you know of this Tiz? Anything of note?
It's not my area that I've been studying. I've been mostly trying to collect folk stories from farmers and from people in taverns about the dynasty. Modar here has been trying to find anything research-related, book-related. We've been trying to come at it from both angles, both folklore and any hard evidence. For me, I've not gotten much about the ambassadors.
Well,
And I'll hold up the kind of the storybook, and the most information we can get is this. And I'll be truthful with you. I'm not 100% sure that everything in here is factual. I believe that there is some fact sprinkled in. Whether it's mostly fact or mostly fiction is hard to say.
And what is you heard?
well, the stories go that Tiz once came to this land and was able to, well, at least bring a bit of a warning. But it seems that most of those stories have been lost in time. However, the shrine down to the south acts as a bit of a lantern.
Shrine. Where at?
On the southern tip.
What does it look like?
Stone, quite large. It's got a bunch of carvings written or engraved upon it. The legend has it that it holds a great treasure.
And who is the shrine erected for? Is it for Tiz?
She'll give a bit of a nod. That's what they say. I can't read a damn thing that's on the thing.
I think we should go check this shrine out, guys.
I think we should rest and hang out for a couple days, Inashi.
Yes, Anash, even you looked a little worn out in that last fight. Something tells me you could use a rest as well.
Also, how forward do I think that she is being with us? Do I think she's holding a lot back? And do I think she's being honest? Or do I get any indication one way or the other? Is she kind of sweating?
You can roll me an insight check. That's kind of
That's
what
what
it
I
sounds
was
like you're asking
suggesting.
for. But I mean, she definitely seems a bit shaken, but with the prior events, it seems rightfully so. Everything that she's explaining to you seems to be truthful as well.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
Do you think you have a captain that would be willing to travel to the Celestial Vale?
Well, that depends. How much gold do you have? I mean, each of
How
you
much-
did bring in a bit of extra profits for me, but, well, then
How much gold would it take?
well, you definitely know how to bargain a bit, but how about 1,000 gold pieces? You said there and back. That's what I'll do.
A
Okay,
thousand,
I'm
1,000 gold, half up front, half when we return.
Two-thirds up front. This way I can put down a nice payment for the repairs, and the rest when we get back.
May I ask what specifically are these expenses for?
This is to take us to the Celestial Vale.
Right.
There's a
and
dangerous dragon on an island full of crazy things that want to murder you.
And everybody else is refusing
Honestly, yeah, it's a 1,000 gold. She can set a price, and if we don't want to pay it, we can find our own way. But if that's your price, that's her price.
Alencia, out of character, she's wondering that whether or not a round trip for 1,000 gold is egregious, or is it being exaggerated just because it's the Celestial Vale, or is it actually covering very valuable expenses?
How about
To answer your question, give me an insight check there, Alencia.
how about half up front, and my bet that I gave before the show started is a donation towards the new tavern.
That is enticing.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of a ship do you have to get there? Are we talking a merchant ship or warship?
Well, if by war you mean something that's well protected with a sturdy crew, well then yes. More so, a fast one. It will get us there quickly, and, well, be able to avoid, well, what one of my captains has said is spotting Croth around the peninsula.
Spotting Croft? Is that what you say?
I'm guessing
Nice.
that is the young Drake that has been seen.
No, it is a, well, quite infamous pirate, to say the least.
The one the captain you sent us to was talking about.
Oh yes, that's this. Well, I'll be honest. Togo, you're the world traveler. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether you feel this is fair.
The lady's offering us a boat. I am fine to pay her price.
Well then, you said that you all needed a night's rest, and I agree.
I think we need a couple nights' rests, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
get your wits about yourselves and be prepared to talk to the druids in the morning.
Yes, indeed.
I'm worried
yes.
that the captain doesn't quite believe your story, but
I'm sure I'm not. If the druids are coming into town, we've met with the druids before. No concerns.
Did the roll show up?
What's that? We lost you
you
there.
got the 26. From your roll, from your insight, it definitely seems that the price is a little bit, kind of jacked up, if you will. Just a bit more than what seems to, be a more than hefty enough fee to pay for a travel. But as stated, some of the cost is going towards repairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if her place didn't burn down, she definitely wouldn't be doing this. She's charging us a danger tax, probably plus a little more.
Yeah, Alencia has never really done anything sea related, and so she's trying to compare, like, with the prices, and she's never really heard of a danger tax before, but definitely wants to cover everything to make sure she gets there. And she goes, well, I made sure I had enough to pay for any egregious expense, and I certainly have nothing that I wish to spend it on, so I can pretty much cover the entire trip.
What is this danger tax?
Oh, well, it's just a very risky travel, and I'm sure that makes sense. A lot of things could go wrong.
Sanzer will nod in agreement.
That's why you need to charge a lot up front, and I tend to agree that it does sound very dangerous.
Oh, so we're charging them a danger tax.
No. We're paying them extra because we're going someplace that is risky to them, and they don't necessarily want to go.
To people's
need-
lives that want nothing to do with it.
And then you
Yeah.
do wish us to stay close in order to retrieve you, of course.
Exactly.
I have plenty of money for that. We can, even if I lose, I can cover it.
Just sounds to me like we're just not allowed to go wherever we want to in this world. Like you got to pay money just to walk in the wilderness.
Well, not willingly, of course.
Well, you don't have to pay money to walk into the wilderness, but if you could walk across the water for free, Zanashi, you can have my purse, because I found my way. I'm making money.
You're
I'm
more
Teach
sure
me
you
how to
could
do
find
that
a
and-
boat if you're. It's quite smaller vessel to say the least, but it should be enough to get across the sea.
Zanashi, you're more than welcome to swim across for free.
I promised that if I took up sailboating, we wouldn't have to pay anything, but I apologize.
Honestly, I would rather
Okay.
have a boat that I think will be there and not have what has been repeatedly described as a dangerous, terrifying, deadly, and island full of absolute horrors waiting with no one else nearby.
I commend the crew's bravery. Yes.
As someone who knows a thing or two about contracts, I think we would need some type of guarantee that you won't be leaving the island once my compatriots step foot, of course.
That's the other 500.
So it
Obviously.
will be split.
Oh, yes,
So we
that's what
paid
we were
half up
discussing and
front?
negotiating.
It's half up front and half later on.
I thought it was
On-
a third.
Well, we've, like I said, Togo just said, we've been negotiating that.
Half up front with a donation towards the new tavern.
Yes, and that is quite agreeable with me if it is with each of you. 1,000 gold, half now. Your bet as a donation. And half when return.
Alencia takes out 500 gold. This is enough, right? For now, at least.
It feels about right. And she kind of tosses it up and down in her hand. She'll open it up and make sure that it's, at least mainly gold pieces.
It's all gold, I believe.
Mm-hmm. You have quite amount of winnings from your bets and things placed from the previous days, so plenty of gold. And then as she kind of sifts through it a bit, well, it looks like we have a deal then. She'll raise her tankard. Cheers.
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 And with a clink of the tankards, each of you take a sip. And then she'll polish off hers and set it down on the table. Well, I'll make sure that I'm there to somewhat at least be able to speak on your behalf in the morning if needed. But if you've already met the druids, then perhaps it won't be all bad.
I think we can discuss with the druids and we can sort all of this out amicably. Amiably. That's what I'm thinking of. Amicably. Yes, thank you. I'm sure this will all be sorted out in the morning with Officer Chilson. But as I said, drinks are on me this evening, but you're welcome to stay. But I will probably be off here soon. But
No.
I'll probably have another drink or two and then head off.
A few is good enough for me. I've got plenty to take care of in the morning. It is quite late.
Well, good evening.
Good night.
I could use some rest. Have a good night.
What time is it in town?
It is pretty late. It is, from kind of looking at the position of the moon, making our way through it, is getting a little bit past midnight.
All right, I'll retire then.
Yeah, Modar's gonna do the same thing.
I use message on Modar as he starts to leave and say, I'm going to swing by your room in a few minutes. We need to talk.
And Modar will nod his head towards him.
Lusk, as you begin to make your way upstairs, Mayor will speak up. Whoa, where do you think that you're going?
I flip a gold coin at him.
Oh, okay. Well, he's in one of your rooms. That's your choice.
You can stay in my room. That's fine. I'll toss the key and use message and say, never mind, I don't do anything.
Just give
I
him
just
the
toss
key.
him a key. Yep.
Oh,
Leave it unlocked.
thank you kindly.
Well, as I believe Lusk and Alencia both said they were going to
Modar.
retire for the night.
Yeah.
And then Togo had gave a message to Modar. Zanashi, what are you doing?
I'm going to sleep.
Okay. So as the three of you go get your rest, Togo, Modar.
I think Modar went to bed as well.
Yeah, I'm going into my room, but I'm waiting for you. You said you were going to come by, so.
A few minutes after everyone goes away, I go and open Modar's door. So, you think that Sanser was just trying to get some money out of us now before they arrest us in the morning?
Truthfully, it's hard to say. I probably would have waited till tomorrow morning to pay him, but you know, Valencia.
I wasn't going to make a scene then, but yeah, that was my
Yes,
thought.
no, I completely understand that. I'll be truthful with you, Togo. I don't believe the druids from the conversation we had with them before. They seem to be reasonable individuals. There was definitely a demon. Reasoning that the demon caused that is not beyond reason. The thing
We
is
can
whether the thing
give him the.
is whether or not the whatever happened inside that tavern beforehand would be considered against the rules. I'm not actually worried about burning down the place. I'm worried about whatever our new friend did while he was in your body and whether those things would be considered and whether you would be considered to have actually done that.
I've been debating. Depending on what they ask, it may be best to tell the truth. I was under the influence of some kind of cursed object that was taking control of me. The captain that works for Sanser can testify and Mayor downstairs can testify I was acting strange. I was talking to myself. You guys had noticed it, but you later on had noticed it, but there wasn't anything you could do because you had already been asked to play, and it was as we were going to it, you realized that that was the problem. They can examine the pick and realize there's nothing wrong with it now. I'm sure one of them can cast high enough level magic to be able to investigate it and realize that there's nothing that could summon a demon with it anymore.
That I can detect. There is more to this than I can comprehend myself. I will tell you that now. I do know that much. I don't know everything about this pick. What I have determined is that part of it is no longer there and it is weaker than it was beforehand. Be prepared. If we are using this as evidence, I have no issues with that. You may lose it. I don't know how you will react to that. You and me both know. It's hard to say what your reaction is going to be at that point. If they can break the bond, you should be fine, but we shall see.
I honestly don't know if I don't know. As long as I promise not to play with it anymore in their city, I bet they'll be okay with it. Because the 100% truth is that, to my knowledge, I only played at request by Officer Chilson in the city with the pick.
If you
And at
play
that point,
again, can you play not using that pick?
well, of course.
And Moto's going to kind of give him a look and look into his pocket, and I'm assuming he's probably fiddling with the pick right now.
And yes, I am, but I can obviously play my viol or my flute. I don't have to play the lute.
It's your life, Togo. Gamble with it how you will.
But I was seeing if I just wanted to pick your brains and see if that was something you had thought as well.
It seems reasonable. Like I said, I know that Zanashi does not have the greatest opinion about these druids, and she has her history with them. But
That is why I am talking to you, because also, you, if I want anyone backing me up when having the conversation with the druids, I want you to be forthcoming and honest. As always, of course, but I wouldn't want you to feel torn between protecting me and being honest about an event that happened.
I don't believe you did anything knowingly or malicious towards anybody in this town. I do believe it was that pick. I just want to make sure you're willing to possibly part with it and know that
I mean, I was
you need to
suggesting
go to
maybe
bed
we
tonight.
omit the part about the pick ever having that ability and just suggest that
If we blame
there
this-
was an entity and it is now gone, but
Like you said earlier, their magic is stronger than mine. They are
exactly.
by
And
far.
if they examine the pick, they will realize that there's nothing on it about summoning a demon.
Can all of you roll me a perception check, please?
I'm not there, right?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure.
Anyone from Modar, Togo, and with the amount of time, I think it's fair for Nuya or Alencia and Sanashi to both still be awake. So if I can get a roll from you two as well.
Like I said, Togo, how much information? I have no problem. I was gonna see where they went with things. If you're prepared to blame the pick completely on this and let them know about the pick, we'll see what they do with that information. It is
Sanashi?
the truth.
That is the truth. I don't know. But I didn't want you to feel conflicted in that. I am well prepared to make my own defense on this and speak to them with the truth laid bare. I didn't want you to feel conflicted in anything. We all know where Alencia stands, but I wanted your conscience to be at ease.
Sanashi, I need your perception check.
Oh, I thought you said I weren't there.
Yeah, you know, you're not there for the conversation, but
I'm very perceptive.
as you're kind of like laying down and it's quiet, you can hear it quite clearly. Modar, this kind of catches your attention slightly during your conversation. Both of you hear a thoo, and then just a whoosh.
I jump up.
Outside,
Definitely not from your rooms.
but I mean, yeah, but outside the building, or does it seem like it's coming from like downstairs in the building? Can I tell?
I mean, it seems to be coming from outside.
Something's going on. Is there a window to look out?
Yes.
I'll take a look
Each
out
of
the
your
window.
rooms have a window.
I'll take a look out the window.
As you take a look out of your window, Modar, you see nothing. Just the night sky.
Alencia haven't really got settled in yet. We'll take the time to actually look for the source of the sound.
Something's going on out there. I'm not sure what it is, Togo, but I don't have, truthfully, I don't have the energy right now to mess with anything.
Well, all I can say is this: if the druids decide to try and arrest me tomorrow, I cannot fight back.
I don't believe any of us could right now. So they will
If-
have us a disadvantage there.
If that happens, let them take me and keep Zanashi from going crazy.
I might be able to stop her momentarily, but if it happens, there's not much else I can do after that.
I'm going outside to investigate what this noise was.
Okay, so you're gonna make your way downstairs and go outside, take a look.
Hell yeah, I'm carrying my weapon.
All
That's
right.
what Lindsay's doing.
You didn't hear anything, Alencia.
Oh, I didn't? I thought it was.
Nope.
me.
Just Modar and Zanashi.
Okay, well then, Lindsay's just dead asleep.
Well, Togo, I'd suggest you get some rest. You're probably going to need it for tomorrow.
Good night, Modar. And I'll head to my room. As I leave, I don't see Zanashi there, right?
You would see that Zanashi's door has been left open, and you would hear like heavy footsteps making their way downstairs. Zanashi rushing forward in a bit of anticipation of, at least something being wrong. As you make your way outside and you take a look around, it is quite late and dark, but you do catch a glimpse of what looks to be a decent sized flying creature before it disappears over some of the buildings.
Describe or define decent sized creature.
It's roughly about your size, but the wingspan is fairly large.
Okay,
About 10 to 12 foot.
so I go around the building and see if I can see where this thing's going.
You make your way around the building, and it seems to have... you seem to have lost the trail.
I guess I'll go back and kind of look around and see if I can tell what it did to make the sound. Like, did it land on the ground? Can I see any footprints or anything, or any damage to anything?
Yeah, still rolling off your last perception check. You don't see anything. If you want to get a bit more detailed in it, like feel around, see if there's any dents or something of the sort, you can give me an investigation.
I'm gonna sit outside of Zanashi's room, leaning up against the wall next to the door.
I've been rolling really good, so I'm probably due for a bad roll.
You're quite certain from the areas that you're looking around, where you are, and then from the entrance and around the tavern or the brewery, that there seems to be no damage.
Well, I'm just going to go back to bed.
As you make your way in, Mayor will pipe up, "Oi, you hear that?"
Yeah, I heard it. It appears it was some flying creature.
Well, shit.
Do you know anything about a flying creature?
No. I'm going to have to say, ever since you all have gotten here, things... Well, they were strange before, but they definitely gotten weirder.
That's the life of a protagonist.
So what are you trying to say?
Unlucky.
Zanashi's not unlucky.
Well, to be fair, that is kind of true. You all, from what I heard, won quite a amount of gold. Well, placing those bets. But perhaps it's just best that you'd get some sleep.
Sure.
Well, as you make your way up, you'll spot Togo. And side note, from your perception checks earlier, you will, find what you need to find. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hey, Zanashi, come here. Lean down for a second.
What do you want,
I
Togo?
will. In her ear, I will quietly say, if they try and arrest me tomorrow for something, let them. I'll get out on my own and meet up with you all.
Are you sure?
As long as they're not going to execute me immediately, yes. Keep me alive long enough to get into jail, and I will be fine.
How do I know they're not going to execute you immediately?
Well, they'll probably say that, and if it turns out they're about to execute me immediately, start killing people. Like, I don't know, improvise.
Like, what if they take you around behind the building and then cut your head off immediately?
You gotta think, these are like normal people, Sanashi. They're not like you and me. They normally tell people when they're gonna be executed, and make a ceremonial thing about it, and you remember the people they were trying to execute back in Mogo, where they were crucifying people, and then we started that big fight, and yeah, they like to do that shit. Like, they start doing that shit, kill people. They'll stop.
Man, our party's plans are so different when Alencia isn't around.
Hell yeah.
That is the truth. Togo's been drinking a little bit tonight. Like, he just wants to stay alive, alright?
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, if Zanashi starts a fight too, Alencia will be like, oh, I have to save my friend. But if we plan it in front of her, suddenly that's a bad idea.
I feel like you guys are using her.
I mean, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, like, I wouldn't want to have Alencia do something morally questionable herself. We're really just protecting her. Anyways.
Of course
Can we rename Alencia to Alibi?
not. Noted.
Is that it?
The levels of grooming, subtle grooming that's happening in this party.
Lindsay, you're having the best dreams. All your friends that you're here with are just adored with you.
She's finally starting to think that she has a new family, one that actually cares.
Well, yeah, we care about your conscience.
Aw.
I'm glad someone found that touching, because I did not.
The only one who reacted was the demon. Wow.
Yeah, I've already been notified that it's purely out of sadism.
Oh my goodness. So Togo and Zanashi, on that note,
I head to bed.
I mean, Togo gave you that information of, if what needs to be done, just start killing, and so please go on.
But choose your best judgment. Also, I've already talked with Modar. If he does something you think is a bad idea, we've discussed it.
Well, if it's what you wish, I'll allow them to arrest you.
I mean, listen, it's not like you can keep me in a prison with other people in it. Anyways, sorry. That's beside the point. I think we'll be okay.
I hope so.
Anyways, good night.
Good night.
Going back to the room, Togo?
Yep.
Nice. As you walk into your room, Togo, you will not spot a roommate. And as you look around, you'll notice the window is open.
Shit. And I go to bed.
What? As you're making your way about, you will spot Sanser leaving, Captain Chilson making her way about, a few guards. They just appear to be humanoid. It's a little bit difficult to tell with their chainmail armor. And you will also note that there are little bits of minotaurs, centaurs, orcs, kind of about a very limited amount, but there seems to be quite a variety.
So I'm looking to identify a part of town that is potentially wealthier, just to kind of get lay of the land.
Well, taking a look around, not much seems to be in like a wealth demeanor, to say the least. At least not some of the things you've been familiarized with while being attached to some of your other less fortunate victims. However, with this area being mainly farmland and things of that manner, the only person of note that seems to have at least a bit of worth to her is Sanser. And that's not so much from what you're doing now, but just previous conversation.
Got it. Is there anyone I would note as being potentially a target? I don't know, maybe a drunk stumbling home, that kind of thing.
An orc.
I would like to land in an alleyway nearby.
Okay.
As I'm before the orc comes into sight, preferably before anyone comes into sight, I would like to cast what is it called? Mage Hand, which produces an invisible mage hand, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You're like 3 games too late, Cavo.
Yep. Oh well. This'll be great. I'm definitely going to jail.
As the orc stumbles by, does it look like the orc might have anything of value? Even something as simple as a dagger, a short sword, a weapon.
Yeah,
or
you will note that there is a sheathed short sword, and you will also note a decent-sized coin purse.
I would, as the orc is stumbling by, I would like to. Well, I don't have a weapon. I'll try to sneak the short sword out with the mage hand.
Okay. Sleight of hand check, please.
May I have advantage because it's invisible?
Let me roll something real quick. And while I do this, can you give me a perception check, please?
Okay. Oof.
Well, he's definitely stumbling about a bit. You definitely know that he's intoxicated. So, with that, go ahead and give me the sleight of hand at advantage. Oh, I'm just gonna not even really worry about rolling that because I know the stat sheet and I don't think you can roll a 30. You swipe the short sword.
All
And
right.
just keeps moving on, just kind of mumbling to himself, and doesn't seem to have noticed at all.
In that case, the short sword falls to the ground, nearly contacting it, and then slowly drags itself, hovering over to the alleyway where I'm perched. I stash the short sword in my robes.
Okay.
About how much time did it take for me to find him?
About, to find a nice spot to kind of, well, I guess attack your prey, if you will. It about 15, 20 minutes.
I would like to. Well, I won't test my luck. I depart.
Can you give me a stealth check at advantage, please? Togo, can I get a con save?
I'm concerned that I'm still making con saves.
I am
That's
too.
okay.
All right. Lusk, as you make your way back into the room, you shut the window, close the shutters, and as you take a quick look around, Togo is just fast asleep.
I smile and go to bed.
All right. And then with that, let's go ahead and take our break and get back to it in just a few
I
minutes.
presume he was going to say break.
I presumed it too.
Well, yes, I was going to say break. We'll get to our break, and I'm guessing Discord cut out because I was looking at the
It did.
the meters for Streamlabs. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back to it in just a couple minutes.
All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Can I hit the short rest?
Hey. All right, and we're back. So, I believe the first thing of note as you each wake the next morning. The last update, if I'm not mistaken, was for your experience was 8,619 experience.
That looks right.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. If each of you from the experience kind of saved up a bit until now, of course, can each of you add 4,922 experience, bringing you to a total of 13,541.
Sick.
Whew. That's a healthy chunk.
Yes, I feel with the experience that not only was that was owed, but with prior conversations and not having someone in the party that's a level behind, did want to split it amongst everyone in the party evenly. So just a little bit less than I had kind of anticipated, but being normally used to the divided by 4.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, what was the number? Sorry. To add.
To add 4,922, which from my calculations bringing everyone to 13,541.
Looks good.
So just
Dang.
400 plus short of level 6.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, 14,000 for level 6.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so just a bit shy.
We had 24,000 experience accrued since our last true rest.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah, total. Yeah, just a little over 20,000, I think it was. Can't remember the exact number, but if you wanted to
Well, if you
multiply the
multiply that by
4,922 by 5, yeah, you can figure it out quite easily.
That is 24,610, which is 6,152.5 per person. If you divide it by 4.
Yeah.
That's what we're giving up for you, just so you know.
You bastard. Gave up level 6.
We'll make up for it when we get those dragons, believe me.
Let's kill him.
Or when you have to break Togo out of jail.
Or when I get us in trouble for crime.
But after that, so with the experience added, if needed, please roll your hit dice after completion of your short rest.
And we get 1 hit die back
After
upon a
what you
short
need
rest.
to spend.
Okay, so if we don't spend any, do we get one of the hit dice that we spent back?
Yeah, of course.
Yep. Yeah, you
Okay.
get one no matter what. Where are the hit die on here?
Once you hit short rest, it will pop up
Okay,
for
it's
you.
right there.
Poor Modar. I guess that's kind of what you get for being a bully.
So after you spend the hit dice, you get 1 back.
Correct.
That's the exact I needed.
So Alencia with a 4 and a 7, Modar with a 3, 5, 4, and a 7. That should be about your HP, right?
Yeah, no, that 7 puts me over. The first 3 I was super low, so it didn't. 4.
I thought
think-
you would root.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think you weren't counting the damage that Zanashi did to you from being temporary, right?
I did not count that as temp. No, I did not. So okay, so I didn't have to roll that last one then.
Yeah, because I was gonna say from like when you had rolled the 4.
'Cause I'm at I'm
I
at
was a little
15 right now.
confused. The first three it kind of made sense, but then after that I was kind of curious why you rolled because a few of the damage that you had received being from Zanashi was temporary. The only one that didn't really have temporary damage was Togo because you shot him with a magic missile.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. 'Cause I
And
was
got
at
hit by a
15.
staff.
Yeah, I mean there were a few things for you, Togo, but for Modar, his was temp because Zanashi
Okay,
was just
all
trying
right.
to more so what's the word I'm looking for? Like not like subdue you and kind of stop you.
All right, so I was at 15, so that was what was that originally? So then that was only at half. So I should have gained some of that back, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say that I believe. I mean, I would have to like look through the rolls, but I want to say it was probably like an average of like a double digit. So like let's just say 9 to be safe. So the first 3 would have probably been needed if you had gotten any other damage after that.
I don't think the demon did any damage to Modar, unless you took damage when you got blasted backwards.
No, he didn't. But, like
I didn't take
when
damage of
I
that.
rewatched the VOD, I didn't remember him getting hit from the demon. The only thing I really remember is Zanashi hitting him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zanashi's the one that hit
So
me. She
then-
just did me pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean she hit you pretty hard. That's what I was saying. I'm pretty sure it was double digits, but I don't remember the exact number. So
Well,
if we
listen,
just
I was
went
at
with 9,
15. I was at 15 out of 32, so
okay. I mean that seems
Yeah.
reasonable. I mean Zanashi basically hits like a bus with that axe.
yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I was kind of curious. Like it kind of piqued my interest when he rolled the fourth one, and I was gonna say like a lot of your damage was temp, so you didn't really have to worry about it.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just do the 2 then. And figure it broke me to whole then.
Well, with that, the next point is Togo. As you awake, you will see Lusk back in the room.
Huh. Do I
Good
notice
morning.
anything new in the room? Anything different?
You can give me a perception check. Nope. I mean, the window's closed, but other than that, that's really the only difference.
Morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good to see you.
Did you sleep well?
I did, actually.
Well, no matter what happens with the druids today, follow Modar's lead on this one.
You know I can't let anything happen to you.
No, I mean, if they want to arrest me, let them arrest me. If they want to kill me, use your best judgment on what you want to do.
They can't kill me. I won't let them kill you.
Wonderful. I like this plan already. But it's not like they can keep me in jail.
Right. Not for long, anyhow.
I mean,
It
if
seems...
I want to get really dark here, if they have me in jail with anyone else over time, I can slowly drive all the other inmates insane to the point that they kill themselves. So, I'm not worth having in jail.
What a power to have.
I know. It's interesting to say the least.
You remind me of someone I knew back home. Are you sure you weren't a demon in another life?
I mean, I would never want to do that, but I also wouldn't want to be kept in jail. So,
Well, that is how people become demons, though. Demons don't start out as they are. They start as something else. I'm sure I was mortal once upon a time ago.
you don't remember.
No.
Hmm.
But it's like a fuzzy memory. I just happen to have a couple extra fuzzy memories bonking around.
I get not remembering. It's nice not remembering sometimes.
Here's to alcohol.
Anyways. Here's to alcohol.
Well, so you can talk your way out of this. You don't need me.
We should be able to talk our way out of this, but if they go to arrest me, I wouldn't make a scene and make a stand there. If I were you.
Do you have any picklocks?
I do not know.
Well, then perhaps we should attempt to find some today in case I need to break you loose. But
I will open up my purse and hand him 50 gold and say, gather what you think you need to gather.
are you sure this is an amount?
No, I figure you probably don't have any money because you appeared before us naked with nothing on you. You might
One
as
more
well
thing.
get some clothes and get some travel things, if nothing else. If that's something that you can acquire while you're doing that, acquire it. But if I am to be arrested, you did nothing wrong, and you will be on the outside, and this is 50 gold of mine that can influence the world outside of a jail cell.
Well, it'll influence more than any other 50 gold you've spent.
I trust it will. But you are worth an infinite amount of gold outside of the jail cell than inside the jail cell if I am to end up there, which I don't think I will. It's just one of those things to plan for, you know?
Very well.
Try and keep Sinashi from killing people unless it looks like they're gonna kill me. Then help her.
By the way, the story, if they decide to get particularly quarrelsome, is there a nearby town that I could be from? Perhaps a village that not many people know of?
You could be from the outskirts of Zalfari, I believe.
Very
It was
well.
outside their own domain, Zalfari. We'll have to double check the map, but it was outside the domain of this region. It's not within the Druids' purger or zone of control, and they may not be familiar with everybody. You could be someone who just comes in the town and lives on the outskirts and traveled around.
Of course, just a hunter who shows up, sells a few furs, and then leaves back. Of course, you all saved me from this horrible demon which had waylaid me while I was attempting to follow a herd of deer, the biggest I'd ever seen.
Just tell them you're from the Elysium
Officer,
dynasty.
I did tell Officer Chilson that we saved you from the clutches of the demon, so I'm sure you can be enthusiastic with whatever part you take.
If they ask why I'm still here, say that I've pledged my life to you after you saved it. I think that's pretty close enough. That's close enough to the truth anyhow.
I'm trying to be honest with all of this. At least, as much as I can be. Honestly, part of my defense is that if they get down to the nitty-gritty and plan to inspect me and see if I have even the capability of doing what happened, I don't. The magic of the pick is weakened after that.
Well,
Anyways,
it doesn't take a whole lot of magic. You may want to hide it. You could always swallow it. I'm sure that would go well.
I plan on it not revealing it openly at first, but if worse comes to worse, it's not like they can necessarily destroy it out of hand, and we can try and get it back after I get out. If they plan on jailing me, but the real key is to get out of jail, or to not be in jail, so that I can make sure I keep the pick.
Understood.
Even though I'm still making con saves, but that's a different problem. We'll burn that bridge when we fail it.
And the bridge will burn.
I mean,
Just
we
like
already
the
did
tavern. But with that, with Zanashi, Modar, and Alencia, what are each of you doing as you wake up this morning while this conversation takes place?
I'm going down to get something to eat.
Yeah, Modar will go through his normal morning stuff, take a look at everything, pack his stuff up, and then do his normal alarm in the room and take off.
Alencia will just go over her usual schedule and go downstairs, fully dressed and just
Alright.
keeping an eye on things that she could lend a hand in.
So as each of you make your way down, you hear a slight conversation, broken up a bit from Togo's room, laughs here and there. Seems that everything is going well inside. However, as each of you make your way down, you will see that Mare has a bit of a worried look upon his face. As you scan the rest of the brewery, you will see Wes. Well, morning. Where is your other friend, the little one?
Define little one.
The halfling.
He should be down shortly.
You all stay right here. Do not move.
Why is that?
Zanashi, just don't worry. Everything is fine.
I look at every single one of my party members for any kind of clue as to whether or not they know something.
And how many of them was? Is it just the one, or is there a few of them?
It's,
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just Wes. The only other thing mentioned was Mayor has a bit of a worried look upon his face.
She's going to incite the rest of her party.
Okay, please do. Well, with the bit of conversation going on between Zanashi and Modar, it does seem that something may be afoot.
Motor's not super concerned. He was expecting this more or less.
That's kind of what she was trying to pull from everyone, since she went to bed early and she wasn't made aware of what was happening. She would attempt to prod a bit and say, "Does anyone know what Togo was doing last night?"
As far as I know, he was going to bed. He expects this, don't you worry.
What do you mean by that?
You know where we're at. You know the rules. You know what happened yesterday.
I do.
Am I in the room? Or
No, this is downstairs during your and Togo's conversation.
Okay.
I'm just a little concerned that we're all not together right now.
It's fine. Togo told me he wasn't going to run. We'll see if he kept his word or not.
What about the other person?
Well, we'll see how that goes as well.
I'll be honest, I don't like sitting here
At the moment, we don't have much other choice.
You don't like a whole lot of anything, Alencia.
That's not true.
Valencia.
I
At
like
the
moving
moment-
around.
Most of us need a few days of rest to get back to our full strength, and even at that strength, you saw what these druids can do. I don't believe we'd be a match for even one of them, and I don't believe he's alone.
The three of you begin to hear footsteps make their way down. And first, you see Togo, then Lusk following a few steps behind.
Do I see Wes as I walk in the room?
You do. His arms will be folded at this point, and looking over towards the stairwell as you make your way down. Well, nice of you to join us. Come.
I'll nod and walk over to Mare. Set my purse behind me and say, "What do I owe you from last night? I'd like to pay our tab up through today and pay my friends for the rest of the week."
Well, you don't owe me anything. Most of the stuff here just cost a few, like, copper and silver, and you just keep throwing gold. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. I'll pull out another 10 gold, slide it to him, and say, "You've been a lovely, lovely host." And I'll reattach my purse and turn back and lean back against
Never
the
gonna
bar
have to
and look
fucking
at
work
Wes. And then nod my head to Wes. Did I say 5 or 10 gold?
You said 10.
10? Okay.
Then, yes.
I just want to make sure I take enough out.
Make sure you give it all to the NPCs before you go to jail.
As far as I can tell, everyone in the party just has an unlimited amount of gold. I don't.
We just made a lot of gold betting on our party in fights, okay?
You have no
Yes.
idea
So-
on Zanashi, because Zanashi rarely even pulls out a coin. I usually refer to Togo's got it.
Yeah, I just kind of throw gold around willy-nilly, and I'm still sitting at 5k.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I'll explain a bit more, but because it was explained a few sessions ago, I think before you kind of jumped in as a special guest, but there was a lot of betting and a lot of winning going on the party's behalf. Especially when they were betting on themselves.
Yeah, that explains it.
That, and I mean, we were paid enough money to travel across the continent for months on
Yeah,
end.
for
so-
months.
And we looted a death cave full of gems and gold, so...
To be fair, Lusk, you know most of this. From Togo's memories.
Fair.
Well. As Wes gives like a little bit of a nod towards the door.
I will toss my purse at Modar as I walk with Wes.
I'll grab it and tuck it away. And then I will follow them out.
It's fine, Modar. If they want to talk to me, they can talk to me, but there's no need for all of us to go unless they want all of us to go.
No, all of you are coming. You are all involved.
Alright.
All involved in what?
I would prefer that
The
this way.
fire and demonic attack yesterday, Zanashi.
The slaying of the demon.
I killed a demon. I had nothing to do with the destruction that happened.
You, Tiefling, you can stay. You may
I don't-
come if you wish to watch the events unfold, but this does not involve you.
Well, I
Where-
must say
what-
that it does involve me. They had saved me from a demon yesterday at the outskirts of town. If I feel indebted to them to deliver my story.
Very well.
What are you taking us for? What is your intent?
Only to speak and make, well, the prior events known to the public. What each of you have done needs to be addressed.
I'm assuming he is being pretty rough in demeanor.
Yeah, he's making it sound dire.
I'm going to insight check him on if he's being honest with me.
I mean, he was sitting outside the window with me and Modar last night, so.
Both of you pick up that, I mean, he definitely seems to be holding something back.
It's
His demeanor at first seemed to be a bit more understanding, and this seems to almost be forced.
We'll get to specifics once we get there. As long as everyone is coming, then I don't mind.
Sure, we'll
Well,
hammer it all out and get it all figured out.
I agree. We shall certainly hammer this out.
Democratically.
Well, please.
I'll walk next to Wes.
We'll be making our way towards the watchtower. And as each of you make your way outside of the Belly Hot Brewery, you, Togo, as you stated, along the side of Wes, you will each note outside there are 2 giant apes.
I look at them and I purposely open up my stride and try and walk faster than them towards the watchtower, trying to lead the way. Not running, but making a good brisk pace.
I look at these giant apes, just trying to see what if they're like really staring us down. What are they doing?
Yeah, as you look over, one seems to be fairly serious. The other, as you look at it, gives like a slight smirk, and then you see like what appears to be a somewhat of a wave.
Modar will nod and wave to them.
I'll just wink at the one that waved. I guess I'm following Togo.
And each of you make your way to the watchtower in tow.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, as each of you make your way there, you will see Sanser, quite a few amounts of the townsfolk, and some of the respective tribes from the surrounding area, along with 2 more giant apes and Captain Chilson. As each of you make your way, Wes will gesture for each of you to kind of take a stance near the steps that lead up into the watchtower. As you do, Lusk being a few steps behind, Wes will chime out to the crowd. Well, each of us are here, gathered, to hear the story of these folks that have found their way into Raisk. The events that unfolded yesterday, we will proceed and see what these 4 have to say. Well, speak. Tell us what you have done in the events that have unfolded. And
I just sat there and watching the fight, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Ran out, tried to get out of the fire, and then was told that there was a demon that needed to be destroyed. So I went with my friends and we killed this demon. And we freed this horned guy Lusk from this demon.
is this Lusk here?
Yes. This
Step
is I.
forward.
I do.
And as you do, you'll hear a couple of like murmurs break out amongst the crowd. Wes holds up his hand and everyone falls a bit silent once more. Well, what do the rest of you have to say?
Modar will gesture towards Togo to speak.
I will look at Modar and kind of give him a after you motion. And I will sit down and I'm assuming I would have come out with like my normal, not like all of my stuff, but my performance gear.
I believe the only thing that you had left was your bursts. Or not necessarily
Yes, with
left,
Modar.
but given that up.
Yes. Okay. I'll just sit down and start messing with the strings on my viol. And
Well,
motion after you.
yes. Yesterday, there was a demon that surfaced south of here. It seems to be the one that created these issues. And after we made it to this demon, we did discover that it was after my friend here chasing after a item that he obtained through the course of a few days beforehand. And I'll look at Moda, and I'll look at Togo, and like give him the like present the pick now look.
I'll just keep tuning my lute and stick my hand in my pocket and kind of fiddle it through my fingers and roll
And
my eyes a little bit.
if he's doing anything to I'll kind of like give him the nudge and a kick to just hand it over to me, like giving him that we talked about this look.
I don't give them the pick, but I hold it up more so they can see it.
After my friend here came into contact with this, we discovered that it was more than he originally thought when he picked it up. This demon was chasing after it, and when he was playing with it, it decided to come after him and destroy and being able to create the damage that was caused here. And while he was in possession of this at that moment in time, he was not himself in full. At this point, I have re-examined the pick, and it seems that those properties are no longer there. You are more than welcome to examine it yourselves if you like. I know that we did use magic to defeat the demon and to try and make sure that the pick was safe to bring back into the town before doing so.
See,
At this point, I stand up and say, "Is Vango Rolfador here? Rolfador here? Is he anywhere to be found?"
no. No one pipes
No.
up.
Someone go find him and bring him back. It'll be important later. Anyway, sorry. Continue. And I'll sit back down and continue messing with my viol.
You see Modar West giving you a bit of a puzzled look, and then his eyes turn to Alencia. And what of you, Drow? We've heard tales of your kind. If you travel with, well, these folk, these stories cannot be true.
I corroborate everything that has been said so far.
And does anyone else proclaim this story to be true?
Certainly.
I am Lusk. I am the man that they saved at the edge of town from the demon. It had waylaid me in an attempt that I was making at a hunt. Destroyed all of my clothing. I barely knew down from up, and I knew not what was in store for me. I don't know what these men did,
And women.
what these men and women did prior, but I do know that they are good, and whatever this demon that caused so much trouble in your town, these are the fellows here who slew it.
Can I roll insight to see if he's being dramatic or genuine at all?
Yes.
Sure. And when Lusk concludes his damn nice natural 20, when Lusk concludes his sentence, Sanser will pipe up. I concur. They've even mentioned going to the Celestial Vale, perhaps even with what they're looking for, solving a bit of our other issues as well. And with this being brought up, you will hear a bit of a gasp come from amongst the crowd.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to leave any information out. I was just trying to keep our tales relevant to what I thought this was about.
We came through here with important matters, but we certainly do not want to bring any trouble with us. So we take care of that as much as we can. And I'm sorry for any of the damage that was caused.
Lusk, with that natural 20, I don't feel, well, you can roll a deception check against it, but we'll see.
If I get a nat 20, I think I can tie it, but really...
Well, I mean, you are the defender, so that's, I mean, like when I looked at the sheet, like you have a chance. So
The only thing at stake here is their impression of you.
well, there definitely seems to be a bit more drama added to it there, Alencia.
Her face is stone cold. Still.
Well, Modar, if you've only looked to speak the truth of what happened, then why not speak of each of your prior accomplishments?
What you mean? What we've done since we've started here?
And
What we
then
did in Mito?
This,
We've been in Mito. We've been in Moga. Would
as
you like
you've
to hear?
asked these questions, then you will hear a couple of the giant apes begin to beat on their chest, and as the thunderous echo echoes out through the city and through the town square, then each of you will see 4 lizard folk heads plop down just a couple feet away from where you stand.
Oh yes, that ridding the area of the lizard folk. You mean sending the goblins off to war in another country? Yes, we have.
I will
We
hit
have
Modar and
accomplished
say, we
those
definitely
things.
didn't do that.
Wait, what? What did you just
Yeah,
say?
the lizard folk are gone. The lizard folk are
No,
gone.
no. Halfling, silence. You, Modar,
Yes,
what did you just say?
I said we convinced the goblins to head north and join the war effort for gold. Is that a problem?
For them, do you know how unintelligent those individuals are?
I mean, they were sitting here torturing people who they found on the road.
Yes, when we
Trying to
came
make them
across
be
them,
bards.
they were no more than bandits. They were capturing travelers and torturing them. I grant you, they're not that intelligent, but they seem to be a bit of a pest for the area.
Well, while they might not hold the best conversations, they are quite, well, vital to our area. I do hope that Gabo knows what he is doing, and whether or not they stay is, well, none of my concern. Our concern here is with the city. And with that, and what each of you have done, everyone here needs to know that these individuals are heroes. Their names should be remembered throughout time. They have not only vanquished the lizard folk that were being a bit of a thorn in our sides, but then protected the city that they have no bonds to. And then with that, each of the giant apes will begin to like beat on their chest, and the crowd will begin to cheer. Then Wes will hold up his hand, and as each of them begin to fall silent, we'll say, and with that in mind, your, well, crimes, if you will, of using magic within the city are, well, more than forgiven. Lusk, you should find yourself in great company with these folk.
I have pledged my service to no one greater.
And then with that, Togo, you will hear the captain's voice chime up. Why have I been summoned here? I don't wish to be
Oh,
any partake of this.
I was hoping you could have a quiet conversation with me and Wes here in a little bit, but if you're busy or doing something, that would be understandable. You're a busy man. I get that. But if you're up for it, I would
We'll
love
have
to have a
words.
conversation after this.
We'll have words there, little one. Then Wes will clear his throat. Well, if there's anything that the city, or I, or the others, the council, is able to do for you, please, do not hesitate to ask. You have done more than enough for the city and its people to find itself in your debt.
Well, if at all possible, we could finish the entertainment that was interrupted by the attack earlier. I happen to have some funds being held at the moment, and I would like to see the conclusion of that fight.
Maybe I won't play for this one.
Well,
Can you imagine
Togo.
being in the middle? Can you imagine being in the middle of like a
Please
court
play.
case? Someone plays music, and then the judge just drops drawers and throws his underwear at you.
all right. Well, truthfully, if anybody does have any information on the Celestial Veil, we would be grateful to hear it. And if anybody has seen anything out of the ordinary in the area, that would be helpful as well.
If people are like, giving like uproarious applause, I'll start chanting, "Play a song, play a song."
And the crowd begins to join in, each
Play a
wanting
song.
to praise the 4 individuals that are now pronounced heroes of race.
Play a song.
Alencia looks flustered to be sharing a stage potentially with Togo while he plays his song, and doesn't really know if she should leave or stay.
Play a song.
Kind of put my hands up and shh. For the fight, it'll be not right now. And I'll look at Wes and kind of nod my head back towards the tower.
Damn.
Togo, roll me a con save.
That's what you get for not playing songs.
Son of a bitch! I'm just playing.
Oh wait, no, that was a con.
He-
That was a
no, it's fine.
con
It was a
check.
natural 20 no matter what.
It
And
happened.
you resist the crowd's chance to play a song. No problem.
Man, think of how good that song would have been.
I'm proud of you.
What a wasted effort.
Con saves for resisting peer pressure.
Oh my gosh, is that what the con saves are for? To stop me from playing music?
Shoulder shrug.
There's consequences for having too high of one stat, as well as low.
Well, as the crowd begins to fall silent as the song is not played, then Wes will give you a bit of a nod. You'll see each of the giant apes begin to shift back into the wood elf, the goblin, orc.
I'll kind of motion towards Venga to come with us.
And Captain follows. And with that, the rest of you being left outside as the door shuts into the watchtower, Togo going in with the captain that each of you had spoken to, Lusk, you as well, but while inside of Togo, of course. And then that is where we will call tonight's session. So, with that, I could have given you the rest of the the experience just at the end, but because you are all so close to the level, and now the confirmation of your previous quest being complete, along with, as Wes put it, saving the city of Raisk and now being pronounced heroes of the area, each of you will bring in 1,472 experience.
Ooh. I like
I
that.
can poison people with my hands.
So that should bring
1,472.
1,472.
Enough to level.
Awesome.
Yes, and that indeed will be enough to get you all to level 6. So, with that, if you guys would like to roll for your HP, please do so now. If not, just update your character sheet accordingly.
Rolling it.
Hell yeah.
Kablam! Oh.
I don't
Alright,
even
well.
need the durable feat.
I got average.
Hey, if you roll and you get average, I'm normally happy with it because I'm just like, could have been a 1.
Could have been a 1. Yeah, I get you.
Another 7.
Well,
Okay, so
Yeah.
with that, the next level to level 7, if I remember correctly, and my sticky note is still correct, and I'm reading my handwriting correct as well, it is 23,000 to level 7.
Let me take a look.
yep.
Oh yeah, 23.
So nice, nice roll.
Thanks.
Valencia, you too.
I'm jealous of both of you.
I mean, both of you are 1 off of max, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, not bad. And Lusk, as I said, as long as it's not a 1 or like below average, should be happy.
Oh, I didn't know that Way of Mercy Monk updated. So at level 6, I don't get Noxious Aura, but instead I get Physician's Touch.
I think with the with Kyle's system, you can play the UA version or the
There's a few things you can do, but I do believe, I think Alencia is, if I'm not mistaken, looking not only to be like a beat 'em up, but like a healer from the feeling I get, but I could be wrong.
I mean, sort of. She's meant to be like she's meant to be like a retirement home caretaker.
Yeah, she's
Who's also
basically a
like
retired servant and has only known the life of being a servant.
Yeah, so she's the resident doctor, bodyguard, maid, all that sort of stuff rolled into one.
I am so sorry. That seems like a lawful good character in what
It is.
might be a chaotic neutral campaign.
Oh man.
Definitely chaotic neutral.
Well, I mean,
over
if
here.
if there was a nail and you were a hammer, you definitely hit it.
Oh man, that is rough. I am so sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna swing that back towards the lawful side
As
either.
as Alencia said, when Togo was making the plans, damn, the plans are a lot different when Alencia's not around.
I'm the only lawful in the party.
The only
Well.
what?
Only lawful.
No, I'm lawful.
I'm
Fuck.
surprised y'all came out and just said, "All right, we fucking did it. We cast some magic. Here's this magic's demon summoning pick. Check it out. It's fucking sick." And like, just throw that all out there. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were here to lie."
No, that's
No.
that's his thing. Is he is law like? Don't get me. He's not like lawful good. He's lawful neutral. Like let the cards lie where they lie, but he is lawful. Like he's gonna follow the local laws and shit like that. He's gonna follow local customs.
Does that involve setting a bar on fire?
He
We
didn't set
didn't-
the bar on fire.
That's fair. You're right. I'm sorry.
To be
Nothing
fair, it was
we
kinda
said was a
you,
lie this evening.
Lusk, but I mean, I'm just kidding. It like to be fair was, I mean, the only thing it was just like a chance. I mean, if
Besides, if
anyone's to blame, it's
prepared our
definitely Togo.
oh yeah,
All kidding
100%.
aside, 100% Togo.
I had prepared our next defense though, in being that the only person who had ever seen the other party in this was the ship captain, who saw the gnome before I did because he told him to fuck off.
Well, he's probably gone.
Oh yeah, the
No,
gnome's
that-
gone for sure. But with that, let's get out of here and sign off. If you haven't already, please do follow the stream, and you can find all of the links down below. Some in the bio, some with the corresponding pictures you can see up in the top left. Other than that, everyone have a good night. Do we have Tomb of Annihilation tomorrow or no?
Yes, we do.
Nice.
Our buddy is out of the
I miss
hospital.
Sokka.
So the start time like this is probably gonna keep happening because of how my schedule looks. So like,
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
yeah, it's probably gonna happen consistently.
With that, everyone have a good night and see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.